Well, hey friends, it's Jasmine with your preschool group update for the week. I am in my home office in my nice new chair that I love so much with velvet on it. It's my favorite. But anyways, first I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody for this past month. I feel like this last month was such a success, so thank you so much. Those kids really understood that they have to tell the big news to everybody, and I loved seeing Instagram posts on our Cedar Creek kids pages. I loved hearing stories from the campuses. You guys are just such huge difference makers, so thank you so much for all you guys do. Second, I just want to make these videos more fun and engaging for you guys. So to do that, I want you guys to ask some questions in the comments below. Comment with a question. It can be about small groups, curriculum, it can be about behavior management, any tips or tricks that you think you need answered or suggestions for. Just comment with your questions below, and then a couple things will happen. One, I'll answer your questions in next week's video. Two, one person who asks a question will win a Chick-fil-A gift card. So make sure you ask your questions below and you'll get those answered next week. Now we're going to dive into May. I'm so glad it's May. Winter is officially over. Spring is here. My windows are open. I'm only wearing flip-flops. It's just incredible. I absolutely love it. So this month we're going to be going through a series called Work of Art, and we're going to be talking about how God has a plan for each one of our lives, and He weaves our lives together like a work of art. He paints the picture and He puts all of the messy pieces together to make a beautiful work of art. So we're going to be asking the kids the key question: who has a plan for you? And they're going to answer with God has a plan for me, which sounds really familiar. If you remember our old curriculum, we used to say God has a plan for me as our bright ideas a lot. So I'm excited to bring a little piece of what we used to do back into Orange a little bit. So with that, this month we're going to be focusing on the story of Joseph, a beautiful story of how God used somebody's pain, somebody's sorrow, somebody's bad circumstances to create a life of purpose, to create a life that was a work of art. And so this month I want you guys focusing on that discover your purpose aspect of the spiritual journey. Maybe it's just in your life you need to discover your purpose and remember that God has a plan for you. Maybe it's for these kids. You're encouraging them to discover their purpose and know that God always has a purpose for their lives. So I just want to encourage you guys with that for this series. This week, though, we're going to be focusing on this part of the story of Joseph's story with the coat. Yes, when he gets that amazing Technicolor dream coat, we're going to be talking about that. And also the bad part about that, which is that his brothers were really jealous. And if you can hear it right now, I really apologize. We live right by train tracks, so there's a train, but we're gonna power through this. Anyway, so we're gonna be learning a little bit about the bad part of that story too, where Joseph's brothers threw him into a pit. And so I wanna jump right into our social activities for this week. The first one is going to involve a laundry basket and some cornhole bean bags. And so kids are going to be standing a distance away from the laundry basket and be tossing the cornhole bean bags into the laundry basket. And it's going to be kind of like when Joseph was tossed into the pit or tossed into the hole. So that's what the kids will be doing with that first social activity. You also have the option as your campus to either use a cornhole board to make the activity a little trickier, or you can use a box with a hole cut out of the top. So for like your 5-year-olds, your kindergartners, it's going to be a little bit trickier for them to get it in the hole. So that's social activity number 1. Number 2 is going to be using a piece of butcher paper. You're going to draw out an outline of a coat, kind of like this. Super simple, just make it super simple. And then you're gonna have the kids decorate the coat using crepe paper streamers. You're just gonna rip off pieces of streamers and you'll have them tape it up to the coat to make a colorful, beautiful coat. And just remind them to be on the lookout for that colorful coat when we get to a large group and to our Bible story. So now for small groups, we are gonna be kicking them off with our brand new verse for this month. And our verse for this month is, "The plans of the Lord stand firm forever." Psalm 33:11. So that was, the plans of the Lord stand firm forever. Psalm 33:11. And we're just doing the memory verse with motions this week to get them acclimated to it, to help just kind of remember a new memory verse. So that's activity number 1. Number 2, you already saw the picture of, I just showed you. We're going to be making our own colorful coats. So kids are going to take some circle stickers. They'll be sent to your campuses. You're going to take circle stickers, and there are some stripes on the coat that are already kind of filled in. They can either use crayons and make the color in their own stripes, or they can use these stickers to line down some stripes. And the bottom has a little recap of what the Bible story is. So that's activity number 2. And then our last activity I'm excited about, our recap and prayer. Because, guys, we fit it all on 1 page. That's right. It's not on 2 pages. It's not on 3. It's on 1. So this is going to be a good recap of the Bible story, super quick. And then the prayer time. Prayer time this week, you're going to ask the kids to think of something that makes them sad. And then we're going to pray for God to help us remember that He has a plan even when we're sad. So make sure you give those kids an opportunity to pray if they want to, and make sure you pray for each one of the prayer requests that they say so that they can feel that God hears their prayers. All right, that's all we have for this week. Make sure you comment below with a question that you might have to get your question answered, and to get some Chick-fil-A, you might win, and make sure you watch next week as well. Have a fantastic week. If you have any questions, make sure you ask your campus staff if you have any questions for this weekend. See you guys next week.